So the only two song titles or episode titles I could think for this episode were either Bet or Jack. Because
Flogging
like
Jet? Can it just be Flogging?
Flogging Jet.
Yeah, I know it deviates. But
Or Flojet Molly.
Flojet Molly. Whoa.
That should be like
That's a new
a rapper
street
named
drug.
Flojet.
Yep.
Flow Rida's little brother.
Flojet. Flojet Molly. I like that, man.
Maybe that's what we'll do. All right, hello. Sorry. Morning throat stuff.
What were you doing last night, bro? What were
I
you
was
doing last
saving the world from disease.
Valiant. Very brave.
Yes. Hello, and welcome to Shuffle episode 14. Please make sure to listen to the 5 songs that we will be discussing in this episode. Links to Spotify and YouTube playlists can be found in this episode's description on our brand new website, which I'm working on.
It's looking hot. It is. It's looking very good.
Thank you.
Looking very good.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was about time.
That's not. Oh, so that's you doing that. I thought that was our intern.
Oh,
Putting
yeah.
him to work.
Just unpaid and just treating him like shit.
Shuffle brought to you by unpaid labor. You can guaranteed, man.
And that's the Shuffle guarantee.
Yeah, that's the Shuffle guarantee.
It has been 2 episodes since our last ICP incident.
Mm-hmm. Just 2. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean we had some special stuff in there,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
since our last official episode with an ICP incident, it has been 2.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
it feels like more, but
Yeah, I know, man. Every day after an ICP incident happens, you don't take a day for granted, man.
everything's
Dude,
changed.
Everything's changed.
Life is, it's like when you survive a car crash. It's like candy tastes sweeter and salt tastes saltier. And
People I hated, I love now. Yeah.
I don't have any ICP news this week, but I might have a little something up my sleeve coming later in the episode.
Is it one of those butcher knives, and then you're gonna put on face paint and run around?
Don't give away spoilers.
All right.
But I do have some news for the Skrillex saga.
Oh, nice.
It's not very music related, but I feel at this point
He is.
it's
music.
just worth queuing. He is music. So a Brooklyn-based witchcraft group has hexed Martin because they believe the justice system is not doing an appropriate enough job at punishing him.
Mm-hmm. So call on the devil, man. I dig it.
And while the group has no direct line to Shkreli, they do claim that Martin's reported loss of $15 million over Kanye's new album was not long after the hex was cast.
Oh ho ho! All right, nice.
Watch out, Martin. Now, I know we spent a lot of time in the Kanye News Corner last episode, but I have a couple more
All right.
tidbits
All right.
So first of all, Tyler, the creator of Odd Future, and I actually don't know if I've ever said this guy's name out loud. Is it just ASAP Rocky, or is it A-Money AP Rocky?
Is it Aesop Rocky?
Well, there's A$AP Rock.
That's a whole different guy.
A$AP Rock is
Yeah.
a white dude rapper. This
Wait,
guy is A$AP Rocky.
ASAP.
I never...
Can we just call him Aesop?
Aesop.
Just makes it easier.
But
Come on.
A$AP Rock is actually a really good he's a good hip-hopsman.
Can we just assume it's the same guy?
Okay,
For
the
ease.
same guy.
It's not accurate, but it's just easier.
So easier.
Yeah, easier, yo.
So Tyler, the creator, and this A$AP Money guy recently released a video of Tyler rapping over Kanye's Freestyle 4.
Yeah.
I believe they titled it "What the Fuck's Happening Right Here" or something like that. And it's fucking great.
Yeah, you should post it if you
I'm
can.
going
on the
to.
Man, yeah, that's really fucking good. I
As-
love what he did with the "What if we fuck right now? What if we fuck right?" And he just changed it to like "What the fuck right now?"
Mhm.
Even that, it was like made the song so
Well,
much better. I was
And
like,
just
fuck.
his intensity justified the insanity of that track.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
I believe you said this, so quoting Dominic Manthe, he said that this what Tyler did with that song was the DMX shit that Kanye was looking for when he said how music's watered down these days.
Honestly, that's the hardest sounding track on Life with Pablo.
Yeah.
And it's not even on the track.
No, it's not. So yeah, you guys should definitely check it out. And hopefully Tyler makes more of Kanye's music going forward, I guess.
Can Tyler and Chance just do all Kanye music now?
Tyler and Chance should start a new group called Kanye West.
Wow, that would be awesome. Better than the real Kanye.
That'd be like so punk rock.
Wow, that would be good.
That'd be great. Tyler, Chance, get on it.
Yeah, wow. I'm down.
And in other Kanye News Corner news, Kanye and Deadmau5 recently faced off. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I gotta say, Kanye actually was pretty fucking funny. I gotta give him.
Kanye,
He was funny.
Outdid it.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
So, Kanye recently tweeted a photo of a screenshot of a YouTube video of a Sufjan Stevens song. And the tweet just said day 3. And Deadmau5 saw this tweet and noticed that one of the tabs in Kanye's browser window was open to the Pirate Bay, which, if you remember to the last episode, Kanye is allegedly trying to take them to court right now over illegally distributing The Life of Pablo. And Deadmau5 started tweeting, "What the fuck, Kanye West? Can't afford Serum? Dick." And Serum is a audio mixing software program thing, I guess.
Yeah.
He then tweeted, "Let's start a Kickstarter to help Kanye West afford a copy of Serum. He needs a small loan of $200. Hashtag pray for Yeezy." And of course, Kanye took to Twitter to respond. And I don't know what he was trying to get at. He was using very weirdly placed hashtags throughout these tweets.
Yeah, that had to just be some like fantasy in his head.
Yeah, so like this first one says hashtag space, okay, very serious question. So like, and it wasn't using it as a hashtag because usually with a hashtag there's no spaces between the words. There were spaces between all these words. Oh, sorry. The first tweet says Deadmau5. Is that person's name pronounced Deadmau5? Because Deadmau5 spells his name DEADMAU, the number 5.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of pretentious fuck uses the number 5 to mean the letter S?
Yeah. Honest to God, the first time I saw Deadmau5's name, I was like, Deadmau5? I said the same thing.
I mean,
10 years ago.
Who in their right mind would ever do that?
Yeah.
Just fucking idiots. Like, especially like if someone was like have a podcast too and they'd use the number 5 instead of an S.
You have to be a real douchebag.
Fucking jerk off.
Real douchebag. Oh man, I didn't even realize the connection.
Yeah.
We should cross promote with that guy.
Yeah, we need to. Deadmau5, hit me up.
Deadmau5. Deadmau Shuffle.
There you go.
Huh?
There you go.
Whoa.
Stream it on Tidal.
Deadmau5. Deadmau5. Shit, man. Call us, Deadmau5. Call us. We can help you out. Let's share that 5, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
We'll team up against Kanye. We'll take him down. So Kanye makes fun of Deadmau5's name, then says this hashtag, okay, very serious question. Hashtag, whose job is it to carry your head on the plane? Then he does the pound sign, then actually writes the words hashtag.
Yeah,
then he puts the pound sign again. Do you check the Mickey Mouse head or carry on? Hashtag, does it get hot? Hashtag, okay, another super serious question. Is there a portable fan situation? Pound sign, words, hashtag. You raised Tidal subscription by a whooping, and then he posted 3 little mouse emojis. Downloads. So I'm guessing by a whole whooping 3 downloads.
Yeah.
Hashtag, I'm bored. Hashtag. When you get married, will your wife have a giant Minnie Mouse head? Hashtag, this brightened up my day. Thank you, Deadmau5. Do you do birthday parties? My daughter loves Minnie Mouse. Can you please bring the Minnie Mouse head? Not yours. She specifically likes Minnie Mouse. I need you to perform at her party with specifically a Minnie Mouse Deadmau5 head, not a Mickey Mouse Deadmau5 head. And this is probably my favorite tweet. I'm very detail-oriented, and I will know the difference, so don't try to just throw a bow on the original head. I want to stream you performing in Minnie Mouse head on Tidal.
Jesus Christ.
Kanye also went on to allege that he staged the original picture to get a reaction, and that the laptop wasn't even his.
I honestly gotta think, why would someone like Kanye West need to download a $200 mixing program?
Well, and in the picture, the tab just says Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
Like, this whole serum thing was completely conjecture on Deadmau5's part.
Because, like, the next tab over, I think the next tab over said Serum.
Oh, okay.
It just said Serum Pro something, and then the next one just said Pirate Bay, and maybe had one character to suggest that it was the Serum. But yeah, it's conjecture. It's conjecture, yeah.
I don't know. And then I didn't even bother writing down Deadmau5's response to Kanye.
It was
just weak as fuck.
It was just something like, you should perform because you're a clown.
Yeah, and he's like, and I just woke up, so I'm going back to bed. I can deal with idiots, no problem. And then he just really didn't do anything.
Deadmau5, he kind of has like a history of being just like a douchebag.
Yeah,
right?
but as well as having a history of being a douchebag, he's also like famously known for like getting into beefs and arguments on Twitter. So like people were expecting more from him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jay-Z gave him a call.
Come on,
Like,
Deadmau5.
come on. Deadmau5.
Team up with us. We'll write your insult tweets.
Yeah, we got
can have
that.
5s for S's for days.
We got 3 unpaid interns, and they will write those all day if you want. Deadmau5. Deadmau5-ful.
Deadmau5-ful. That's the
us.
shuffle guarantee.
That's the shuffle guarantee.
All right. In other music news, did you hear about the controversy surrounding Swan's lead singer Michael Gira at all?
I did. Ugly story all around.
Yeah. So Michael Gira was recently accused by singer-songwriter Larkin Grimm of raping her in the spring of 2008 while she was recording her album Harplar, which was on Gira's Young Gods label. And she says that Gira continued to make unwanted sexual advances towards her in the months that followed. And after her album's released and accompanying tours, she confronted Gira about it, who then dropped her from the label and cut all ties to her.
Mm-hmm.
Gira and his wife immediately took to Facebook to deny these accusations. And they basically tried to paint this picture that Larkin is mentally challenged or unstable, I should say. She's like emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
That she's in love with Gira, and she's just bitter that she can't be with him, and that he dropped her from her label, and she's just trying to get back at him.
And wait, I couldn't quite figure out, is it Gira and his ex-wife now? I like...
It is, so the two people who made statuses were Gira and his current wife.
And his current wife. All right.
Yes. Well, at the time in 2008 when this happened, he was married to someone else.
Oh, all
Neither
right.
his current wife, Jennifer Gira, or this Larkin Grimm girl.
Swan action going on, Gira. Man.
Swan song. So basically, Gira just said, like, these are false. And then his wife took to Facebook with this really long post saying that while she can't legally show it, she has physical evidence proving that Larkin is lying. And that we will soon know that all of this is fake. But to add another layer on top of it, at this point, Gira's Facebook post is the only thing that still stands. Larkin and Gira's wife have deleted all of their posts. I'm sure it's probably for legal reasons, like if they're actually going to court with this,
No
both
doubt.
of their teams just
doubt,
like, you got to
man.
take that shit down.
Don't show your hand, even if you... I mean, just if you're a lawyer, it's like, come on, 101. Don't say anything.
No.
God damn it.
So
Yeah.
then,
It seemed in poor taste, I'll be honest.
I agree.
Those Facebook posts were in poor taste.
Well, and I probably shouldn't even say anything. I just doing all of this in the public eye on Facebook in the first place on both sides of theirs is just like, this is not the way to go about this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying either of them are lying. I don't know anything, but I don't think that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
See, it feels like a smear campaign in some ways.
Yeah.
Which I guess if these accusations are true, I don't blame her for wanting to smear his credibility, because that's a horrible thing to do.
Yeah.
So a few days after these Facebook posts, Gira made an official statement through his publicist, admitting that while he was recording this album with Larkin, and while he was married to his first wife, he and Larkin were heading towards a, quote, consensual romantic moment. but called it off before anything happened because it didn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
So he admits that they were maybe going to do something, but they stopped.
Yeah.
Larkin then responded, saying that even if that's how he remembers it happening, that's not what happened. She was still raped, and she thinks it's disgusting that he's unable to conceive of himself as a rapist because he raped her. And then she also released a song called I Don't Believe that is written for survivors of abuse.
Wow.
As well. Larkin has also made comments about how she feels bad for Kesha, which I don't know if you heard anything about
right.
I'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But she said, at least I got out of my record deal with the rapist. So, in more horrible news, Kesha recently was denied the ability of ending her contractual obligation to record with Sony. She recently took Sony to court, claiming that her longtime producer and collaborator, Dr. Luke, drugged her and sexually assaulted her. To which Dr. Luke and Sony then countersued Kesha for extortion, and the judge ruled that, along with seeing no evidence of said sexual assault, Sony has promised Kesha that she is not required to work with Dr. Luke, and she is still legally obligated to record the album with Sony. Kesha insists that Sony has told her outside of court that they side with Luke. They are going to refuse to promote this album, and they're going to put as much minimal effort and money into it as possible because they're mad at her. And the judge says, you're just making that up.
Yeah.
And what's even more horrifying is the whole time this is happening in court, she's just there crying uncontrollably. She looks physically scared and sad.
Damn.
Ugly stuff.
Yeah, that stuff, I gotta say, it's very hard to make a critical judgment on any of it, because how can we know? How can we? Well, I gotta say, the people, it's easy to have a very quick reaction to it, but unless you're there, in the courtroom, you see all the, you're a part of the jury, you see all the evidence, etc., then you can reach a fair assessment. But I don't know. I feel weird when I read these stories because I just simply don't know. And it's part of the American way. You assume innocence until proven guilty.
Yeah.
You get rid of that. What do you got? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to prove. That's the other thing. It's so
very
hard to prove. And the system is somewhat rigged against people that get victimized. So it's very hard. It's very hard.
And you also wonder why, what are they getting out of lying about this?
True.
At the same time, it's especially with Kesha's case, she only has things to lose because I'm sure she's gonna have to pay back a down payment from if all she wants is to not make an album with Sony, I really don't see the benefit of her lying about this.
And it's not like her career was going badly.
No,
she had that Pitbull hit.
Very popular.
Yeah, come on, man.
So I really the Michael Gira Larkin Grimm thing is a little more great to me, but the Kesha thing just seems fucked up.
Yeah.
If you asked me.
Yeah.
Not that the other one's not fucked up, but the other one, there's a lot of he said, she said with that. With Kesha one,
it seems like there's got to be some change in the legal process to have some more common ground. Because if all, not to get wonky on it, but you got to have evidence. If you don't have evidence, real convincing evidence, then it really, the victim kind of will just lose. To me, there's got to be some change of some kind of middle ground. At least some option where if someone feels that they've been abused, they can at least opt out of contracts like this. But again, this part will probably get edited out. It's too wonky. But can you imagine the legal precedent set if someone is able to completely nullify a legally binding contract just because they said something that can't be proved? Period.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a crazy. That's why it's so hard. Ugh, it's hard. That's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah.
We'll put the unpaid interns on this. They'll figure it out. They'll pour over the documents, but without a doubt, I wouldn't be surprised if the music industry in general was pretty misogynistic.
What?
They don't have a good track record.
That that would involve there having to be some like well-established patriarchy of some sort.
Yeah, and that's not true.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to some happier things. So recently the Violent Femmes played on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and did a rendition of their famous piece Blister in the Sun, and Colbert joined them to sing it, and he fucking killed it.
I just read about it. I haven't heard it.
He really committed to he just did great. I'll post the video.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say other than it's very enjoyable to watch.
Nice.
Great song.
Nice.
Great band. Colbert's awesome.
He's a pretty decent singer.
He's
seen
a very
him
good
sing
singer.
before, and I was shocked.
I don't think I posted or talked about it, but recently over the holidays, him and Henry Rollins from Black Flag did a rendition of Carol of the Bells on his show.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing like matching Christmas sweaters with each other's faces on them. And it was a very kind of Trans-Siberian Orchestra-esque version because it's Henry Rollins, so it was like kind of like it kept switching, like it was like a dual song where like it was very traditional and classy with Steven, and then it'd go into like a hard rock rendition of it when they switched over to Henry.
Nice.
So did you hear that Animal Collective almost scored the 2011 movie Limitless starring Bradley Cooper?
No, what?
Yeah, it recently came to public knowledge that they were in the talks of scoring that movie.
Really? Wow.
Geologist has been quoted saying, "We got asked to do some music for that movie Limitless while they were filming it, but when we talked to the director, he just wanted something that sounded like an instrumental version of Summertime Clothes," which I believe was off of Merriweather.
Merriweather, yep.
And he said, which we weren't very excited about. And that's as far as it got. But I can't imagine a big like blockbuster Bradley Cooper action movie with Animal Collective music.
Collective. Wow.
I mean, props for like trying to like
connect some random dots out there. Wow.
But I don't know if it would have worked out for the best or not.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear they just wanted a watered down version of a poppy song
of their like arguably most like catchy and mainstream sounding music.
Yeah.
So in other news, Iggy Pop posed as a nude model in a life drawing class at the New York Academy of Art. The resulting drawings will be showcased in a fall 2006 Brooklyn Museum exhibition titled Iggy Pop Life Class. Artist Jeremy Deller, the mastermind behind the project, had this to say: "The Life Class is a special place in which to scrutinize the human form. As the bedrock of art education and art history, it is still the best way to understand the body. For me, it makes perfect sense for Iggy Pop to be the subject of Life Class. His body is central to an understanding of rock music and its place within American culture. His body has witnessed much, and it should be documented."
I love not his body of music. I love that.
His physical,
his literal fucking body. Wow.
Yeah. And after it opens up in Brooklyn, it's supposedly going to be touring the country. So look out for Iggy Pop's naked body coming to a city near you.
Wow. I hope someday I can be famous enough. I can make money just standing around naked.
Well, actually, he didn't even stand. There's a picture from at least one of the poses. It was just him like laying sprawled out on the floor. And there's like and artists all around him drawing him.
Wow.
Iggy Pop's a great guy.
Yeah, shit, man.
So did you hear that the Foo Fighters aren't breaking up?
I'm heartbroken. I thought they were, man. How could they tease us like this?
I guess everyone... I guess the Foo Fighters drummer, Taylor Hawkins, I think is his name, made some comment about how they haven't seen that much of each other recently, and they were taking a break, and the internet fucking lost its mind, and tons and tons and tons of speculation posts were made about the Foo Fighters breaking up. And they released a pretty funny video promising that they're not breaking up. I won't give it away too much, but it's worth watching. It's pretty fucking good. I'll post it. Last bit of news. Recently, an alleged tour rider for Arcade Fire was posted online from their Reflector tour. And the rider has some pretty interesting demands for like the requirements for backstage.
Really? Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Some of the things that they demand be backstage. If you're not familiar, tour rider is basically the contract that a venue signs with a band when they come to perform, and it specifies all the legal things about money and time and place, and there's usually a section dedicated to what the band wants backstage. And I know it's been done before. Everyone talks about the ridiculous things artists demand.
Yeah.
Now, Arcade Fire's publicist or representation has claimed this is not true,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll read it anyway.
Yeah.
So some of the things they demand: fair trade gummy bears, clove cigarettes, all visible written words must have correct spelling and grammar that they can see, mushrooms that are harvested locally, a craft corner with assorted paints and canvas as a creative outlet, one Garfield I Don't Do Mondays t-shirt, size large,
Jesus Christ.
one bag of locally produced sustainable ice. And they are very, very strict on specifying that loose tea leaves, non-bagged, must be loose black chai tea leaves.
Wow. That kind of sounds like I could believe that.
I could believe it too.
Yeah, I've heard though, because like, remember the Jack White
Guacamole.
Yeah, okay. And I've heard since then that like sometimes the musicians themselves don't even like write these, and B, and I don't know how true this is, but there's like a culture of like you write these down like as a joke, and there's a sort of like reciprocity where like the people that work at the venues know that they're not necessarily really looking for this
And
stuff.
you just kind of like do it to see if it actually shows up
Yeah,
in the green room.
And I don't know if that's true. That could obviously be someone just, doing PR to cover up. But
Well, and also,
this sounds kind of believable.
Also, after Wynn's recent interview with winning that all-star basketball game, it wouldn't surprise me if like they did this just to fuck around with people.
Yeah.
Like they seem like they have kind of like a dark sense of humor, or
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
they're very coy. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, moving on from music news, what have you been listening to lately?
Honestly, I've been listening to Life of Pablo again and again, and periodically I'll feel like we were too hard on it. And then I'll listen to other songs and I'll be like, we were too soft. And I'm still just stuck there between loving parts of it. I'm like, fuck, this is good, and being like, this is so goddamn bad. So I'm still right where I was.
It's a very polarizing album.
Yeah.
That's like I said, parts of it were like an 8 or a 9, and parts of it were like a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
So I have no choice but to give it like a 5.
Yeah.
Or a
yeah.
6.
Yeah, same. And the new Kendrick Lamar dropped.
That's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah, which I think you've listened to a little more than me.
Yeah, I think you kind of half-assedly listened to it last night.
Passively, yeah. Well,
Yeah, so Kendrick, out of nowhere, released an album. Allegedly, a couple hours prior to its release, Top Dog Entertainment, his company that he's with, I'm at a loss for words, hinted that there would be a 2016 Kendrick Lamar release, and then little did we know, hours later it would just appear online on all streaming services and as a free download, I believe.
Yeah,
I might be wrong about that. So it's called Untitled Unmastered, and according to Kendrick, it's a collection of unused demos from To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
Now, Kendrick's famously known for performing these untitled, unreleased songs when he's doing like publicity circuits. So actually, 2 of the untitled songs he's performed on the Colbert Show and Jimmy Fallon's show are on this album. The untitled performance from the Grammys is not.
That's not on
It
there.
is not on this album.
That's not.
Yeah. It has some good features. Like, there's a great CeeLo Green feature on it. Allegedly, Top Dog, or no, actually Swizz Beatz, took to his Instagram saying that him and his, I think they're married, or at least they're a couple. Him and Alicia Keys are together, or at least they have a son together who's named Egypt, and he's 5 years old. He produced the untitled number 7 song on this album.
Really?
And then Top Dog Entertainment producer Soundwave took to Instagram to confirm this and actually posted a video of the kid producing the beats.
How old is the kid?
5 years old. And I went on the Wikipedia page for this album, and in the production credits for track 7, Egypt is written down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's very jazzy. It's very political. Another interesting fact I learned that I never realized before. Do you know what Kendrick's actual last name is?
What? No.
Duckworth.
It is Duckworth. Shit, I think I knew that.
Duckwo. Because I was looking for like the writing credits and it said Duckworth over and over again. I'm like, who the fuck is Duckworth? His actual last name is Duckworth.
Wow.
A track I think you should check out to see if you just agree with me. The second track, Untitled to June 23rd, 2004. It has an uncanny resemblance to David Bowie's Girl Loves Me.
Really? Huh.
Because it has like the weird out of world like jazz saxophone manically playing in the background, and they're both doing that thing with their voice where like like
yeah
and
shit.
What's interesting is if you look at the title of this song, it alleges that this was written in 2014, and Bowie has explicitly said that Black Star was heavily inspired from To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, that's what
Now,
I was thinking.
I wonder if he almost had access to these unreleased demos.
Yeah.
And because this sounds like Girl Loves Me.
That's wow. Yeah.
I haven't
definitely
seen
check
anyone
that
online
out.
like make this connection yet. So, but
Yeah.
like the second I heard it, it was like, this sounds like Bowie's song.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so listen to anything else, or is that about it for you?
That covers it. Besides just the standards, you know me.
Did
You know
you?
me.
So have you ended? I can cut this out if you don't want to talk about it. Did you end up listening to Animal Collective's new album?
I
at all?
still have. I haven't I've heard every song once, and I liked it, but I haven't listened to it enough to formulate a real strong opinion.
I should probably listen to it again also.
Yeah.
But I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's better than Centipede Hurts, but it's like too little, too late. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's too premature for me to be saying that.
My
but
first reaction reading it was they kind of. I don't want to say
safe. It's very safe.
Yeah. It seemed like it was very super playful, fun,
and they
safe.
They heavily rely on that vocal effect where they stagger ooh ah ooh ah ooh ah ooh. You know what I'm talking about? Where Avery sings and Panda sings pretty much on top of it, and it kind of has this singing in rounds effect.
Yeah.
I would say at least half the tracks on this album heavily utilizes that, and it kind of gets trite after a while.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, AV Tear's voice, I've been a fan of, especially when he screams. Gets raw.
The mania of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't. Otherwise, it can sound very, very, very much like a 10th grade overexcited theater kid.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. When he goes raw, visceral, kind of strawberry jam. Fantastic. And Panda Bear is a little angel choir boy, and he should stick. And so sometimes when they're singing together, it's good. Other times it's just a bit of a head scratcher. So yeah, the album I listened to, I thought better than Centipede Hurts, but it wasn't a revelation. I didn't have a revelation while listening to it.
Well, if you go and seriously listen to it and have any more thoughts, we can come back to it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Premature evaluation.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
My favorite.
Let's move on to our first track of this playlist, Laura by Flogging Molly, off the 2006 album Whiskey on a Sunday. Flogging Molly is an Irish-American 7-piece Celtic punk band from Los Angeles, California, and led by Irish vocalist Dave King, who hails from Dublin, Ireland. Celtic punk is punk rock mixed with traditional Celtic music, a genre that was popularized in the 1980s by the Pogues, a band of punk musicians in London who celebrated their Irish heritage.
Yeah.
Celtic punk bands often play covers of traditional Irish, Welsh, or Scottish folk and political songs, as well as original compositions, using the common themes of politics, culture, religion, drinking, and working class pride. David King used to be the lead singer of a heavy metal band called Fastway, with Motorhead's Fast Eddie Clarke on guitar.
Okay.
And I guess
wow.
he recently just reunited that band. Dave King is not the lead singer anymore. It's Eddie Clarke's project. That was like in the 80s. King has stated that the band's name, Flogging Molly, came from a bar called Molly Malone's that faithfully supported the band at the very beginning. He said, we used to play there every Monday night, and we felt like we were flogging it to death, so we started calling the band Flogging Molly.
Beautiful name. The more I think about it.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty... Well, and then like their counterpart band, Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah,
they're both
right.
bands about physically abusing someone, specifically Molly and Murphy.
Yep.
Getting fucking drop kicked and flogged.
Fuck people, man. Let's hurt them. Yeah, Dropkick Murphys. Yeah. Kindred.
Not that everyone has to draw this line in the sand, but if you're one to do that, I'm a Flogging Molly person.
Yeah.
More so than Dropkick. That's just me.
In like a sentence, what would you say the difference is? Like just in intensity, heaviness?
They're both pretty intense. I feel like Flogging Molly is more of like, they have a traditional Irish feel.
Yeah.
Whereas Dropkick Murphys is going for more of that like Boston Irish aesthetic.
No, okay, that's
so it's a little more Americanized, a little more bro-y, like that "Shipping Off to Boston" song that everyone fucking loves.
Yeah, everyone.
And it's a great song. It gets you pumped up, but there's a sense of history with Flogging Molly. I feel like.
Yeah.
While I know they're, except for like the lead singer, they're all not Irish people, but I feel like I'm taking back to like 1800s Ireland.
There's
sometimes.
more roots, yeah, more roots.
And like that might just be me projecting onto them.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Flogging Molly like 3 or 4 times live also, so I'm not sure if they still do it anymore, but so every year in St. Paul, Minnesota, they're on Harriet Island. There's a weekend-long festival called Irish Fest or Irish Fair. I think it's Irish Festival because the mayor of St. Paul is famously Irish and he loves celebrating Irish heritage.
Nice.
So they take Harriet Island is just kind of this little slab of land in the middle of the Hudson River
or Mississippi. I think that's where.
It's in downtown St. Paul, and a bunch of. It's just this little fair. There's tons of Irish music and food and booths where you can buy kilts and tons of stuff. And it used to be, at least back when I was in high school, they wouldn't do it every year, but every other year, Flogging Molly would play at this festival every night for free.
Wow.
Just because they fucking support it. They played a free show. They were friends with the mayor of St. Paul. So I got to see them live a bunch, and they just played these free fucking shows. And say what you will about punk Irish music, but one of the best fucking concerts you'll ever go to.
Yeah.
It's just the energy and the intensity and the camaraderie in the audience. Like, everyone's just fucking dancing. Great live show.
Yep.
Now, personally, I think, punk Irish music, it kind of gets old after a while. Like, listening to a whole album of it.
See,
you kind of feel like you're hearing the same song over and over
again.
See,
that's exactly what, like, I've seen. I maybe saw Dropkick Murphys live. I don't know. I've seen bands like who identify as Celtic punk, no doubt influenced by Flogging Molly live, and they make for fantastic live shows. Everyone's drinking, dancing. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. But I kind of feel the same way. It's Steve Martin said it best. I love Steve Martin. He recently said about his stand-up comedy that he stopped doing. He said this, and it was so perfectly said. He said, my comedy was conceptual, and once the concept was stated and realized, it was over, and I had to stop. And I feel this genre, once you get that it's Celtic punk, You know what I mean? It's conceptual. You realize it, then it's like, all right.
You make like one album.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
it kind of like like they have a couple songs which I dearly love, but like they have to be like in a playlist or put on a whim. Like sitting down to enjoy a discography of Celtic punk.
I don't think I could do it. I do.
You can only hear so much about the old war and drinking and religion.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. So this song. Or this album, Whiskey on a Sunday, it's actually a DVD/live-ish album. It was like a special compilation that featured a mix of live and studio recordings, and most of the studio recordings were acoustic takes on their songs. And it also included a documentary about the band. The album art was done by Shepard Fairey, the Obama change guy, Andre the Giant Obey. And it charted at 67 on the American Billboard Top 200 chart. It's actually been certified platinum by the RIAA.
Damn.
And this song, Laura, was actually the only original song to be featured on the album.
Huh.
Though there were like old bootleg live recordings of it, this is like the first actual studio recording of it. So the song appears to be loosely based on possibly a loved one dying or a relationship ending. I think it's about someone dying based off of the narrator's feelings towards this person.
Yeah, some serious into some relationship.
Some fans suspect that it might be a reference to King's ex-wife, though I couldn't find anything about if he actually had an ex-wife who died or not.
Yeah.
And some people think it's like maybe a grandmother or an aunt or just a close loved one named Laura who passed away.
Yeah.
I think it's a good song. I really like the opening.
Yeah.
I really like the line, and I could have danced on the sun, but my world came undone.
Yeah.
Like that really struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, it's emotional, it's also kick-ass and fast.
Yeah.
And I really like the intensity, but I almost think it kind of detracts from how somber this song is. What did you think of this song?
Yeah, it was kind of, I had a hard time just listening to the song on its own terms. I'll admit that, because I was trying to understand what is the genre of Celtic punk. What is that genre exactly? Like, does it make punk a little bit kind of like, not softer, but give it a sort of emotional anchor, a little bit like nostalgic? Or does it try? But then there's Dropkick Murphys that seem like they're just like drunk and screaming like
Shipping off to Boston.
And I wasn't quite sure I wasn't quite sure how to digest this song. Like, but here's the thing: if I had been drinking a PBR pounder 3 in at the aquarium in Fargo, where I'm from, and I heard this, I'd be like, yeah! But I'm sitting down, I'm chewing over it, and I don't know exactly what to make. Yeah, sober.
Which is surprising.
Yeah, very surprising. This show keeps me sober. I shuffle for my sobriety.
That's the shuffle guarantee.
That's the shuffle guarantee, motherfucker. But here's the thing. I just can't quite tell what I think of Celtic punk. There's that idea of idiosyncrasy credit, where you can get away with shit because of one weird, novel thing. And I can't tell if sometimes the Celtic makes it something very new, or they just kind of use it as the one weird thing they got, and they can get away with making what is otherwise kind of just your standard punk music, which is a little harsh. I don't know why I'm being so harsh, but
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Because like if you think about it too much, like you break down like what is punk about? It's about disestablishment, anarchy, bringing down political organizations.
What's the longest fucking punk song you've ever heard? This was 4.5 minutes long.
So then
I was like, what?
if you like think about it too much, so you have these people who, and especially Celtic punk, which sings about working class pride, and anarchy and bringing down the system, and then you realize that this is like a well-produced, probably successful they probably make a decent amount of money.
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
Now it's like they're benefiting and becoming what they're singing against.
Yeah. I
don't know. I guess like if I squint at it and look at this song, I enjoy it. But if you over intellectualize it, it's kind of bullshit.
But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, I dig it as like bar music. You know what I mean? But when something becomes commercialized, commodified, that whole business, then you gotta be more critical. And I don't know where I stand on Celtic punk as a genre. It's odd, but I'd have to listen to more. But this song to me, again, it started out kind of like pop folk. It kind of romantic, sentimental, the violin and kind of emotional, and then it got heavy with just kind of your standard distorted guitars, and then it just adds a kind of violin. You know what I mean? Like, there's the violin to keep it Celtic.
Keep it Celtic.
Just to keep. And again, I don't want to be so mean. I have no idea why I'm
Hashtag keep it Celtic.
I have no idea why I'm being so cruel to this song. I'm submitting it to like just the utmost scrutiny. But like, you get rid of the violin, and you make the guy's accent 100% American. And what does this sound like?
Well, I guess you're talking about like what makes Celtic punk Celtic.
Is it
punk.
just the violin?
I think it's also
not.
like you also have to like look at it contextually within the whole album.
Yeah, true.
Because you just pick out one song. Yeah, there's no Irish heritage injected into this, but like when you look at it in the context of the rest of the album, which there might be some like punk takes on traditional Irish folk songs, it might make more sense.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this song.
Dominic, hard on Celtic punk.
Why am I being so hard on it? I have no idea, man. I mean, I got Celtic roots, man. I don't know. Maybe that's why.
Italian?
It's in my DNA. Yeah. Part Italian, part Irish, so I've been told.
Well, you do have red hair.
Which oddly came from the Italian side. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Well, they spilled some pasta sauce on your head,
Oh,
obviously.
hey, we spilled the pasta sauce.
Oh, we accidentally spilled some.
It's a tough life. You got the pasta sauce on your hair. So Flogging, I don't know. This song, I don't know. I have no idea why I was so cruel on this song. But I just kind of felt like it was trying to have too broad of an appeal. There it is. Too broad of an appeal. The opening was kind of soft folk pop, and they use those Celtic convention to hit you in the emotion.
Right in the feels.
And then it goes into what is otherwise pretty standard, just like distorted guitar, but they keep the little violin. And so I don't know. I couldn't tell if it was adding something new or if it was kind of using quirky stuff to have a broader appeal. I have no idea why I'm being so hard on it.
I can respect. No, this is it's because I asked you to critically look at these songs. You're doing
man.
exactly.
I feel guilty.
You should write them a letter apologizing.
You guys, I'm sorry. I don't know why.
All right, I guess let's move on to the next track.
All right.
Get What You Need by Jet.
Now this motherfucker. Shit, this is my jam. Fuck Celtic Funk. Give me the Jet. Serve it up.
Let's jet on over to Jet. They're off their Get What You Need off their 2003 album.
You better get what you need.
Get Born.
Get born.
Jet were an Australian classic rock inspired band from Melbourne, Victoria.
Until they all died, right? Didn't that?
In a horrible jet accident.
What are the odds? A jet flew into Jet.
They weren't even flying. They were just staying on the ground.
Crazy.
And the jet just landed on them.
Fucking nuts, man. Very rock and roll.
So they said when they were picking out a name, they wanted something short, so when it showed up on a festival advertisement, it would be large and bold in print. So they arbitrarily picked Jet. Their sound was highly inspired by 1960s and 1970s classic rock, as well as inspired by the Australian alternative rock band UMI. I've never heard of this band before.
Yeah.
And they said specifically their 1995 album, Hi-Fi Way. Nick Sester, I believe that's how it's pronounced, the lead singer and rhythm guitarist of the band, said, Hi-Fi Way was the most important album of my generation. I think everyone our age who played guitar played UMI songs for the first time in front of their school assembly.
Yep.
That was
right here, bro.
That was the record that made you realize you could be in an Australian band. You didn't have to be in a grunge band, and you didn't have to be influenced by American bands. It changed everything. So
That's
I
interesting.
I think he was specifically talking to Australian musicians.
Okay.
Do you feel like you can be in an Australian band now?
Yeah, I do, man. I just need to pick up that. Okay, interesting.
Hi-Fi way.
Yeah.
The album title, Get Born, actually has two conflicting origin stories that if you look on Jet's Wikipedia, it says one thing, and if you look on the Get Born Wikipedia page, it says another.
Whoa.
So the first claim is that the name was derived from the blockbuster action movie The Bourne Identity starring Matt Damon.
I wouldn't be fucking surprised.
The second claims that it was derived from a lyric from a Bob Dylan song, Subterranean Homesick Blues.
Yeah.
I guess it would make more sense that it was the latter.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I'm pretty sure Dylan influenced the Bourne trilogy, so we're all tracing the same line here.
That's the mix-up right there.
Yeah, there we go. We cracked it.
I mean, that movie is just like an autobiographical story of Bob Dylan's life,
If you know what to look for, it's pretty obvious. I gotta be
that was his Bourne phase, I think is what they call it.
Yeah, Dylan's Bourne phase.
His Bourne phase.
Classic.
Which he's still going through right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, the way that I first heard this band was with their song "Are You Gonna Be My Girl," which was featured in one of those classic iPod commercials of the colored background with the black silhouette dancing.
Yep.
I was probably in middle school when I picked this album up based off of
I picked it up too. I bought it 2003, right? 2003. Yep.
Say 1, 2, 3, me.
The iPod commercial is pretty good. I gotta be honest. Come on, 2003.
Hey,
Shit.
it got 2 people to buy the album.
Yeah.
So they kind of exploded after that.
Yeah.
They had that song and the Cold Hard Bitch song and
yeah, man.
Cold Hard Bitch, I put a kiss on the lips.
I feel like that's every Jet song.
And you gotta yell "Come on" and "Yeah."
Come on, yeah.
Interesting little side note. I learned that while the band was on a hiatus prior to breaking up, 2 of the members, Mark Wilson and Chris Sester, brother of lead singer Nick Sester, formed a band called Damn Dogs, all caps DAMNDOGS, which is a self-described doom disco band.
Wow.
Now I listened to this album.
Decent? Terrible?
It was and I did not hear any doom in it whatsoever. Nor any disco. It kind of sounded like maybe a slightly edgier The Strokes.
Oh, okay.
Kind of just like
Yeah.
edgy indie dancey music.
Yeah. Doom discos.
I take doom descriptions very seriously.
Yeah,
and they did not deserve to title doom on that. I was expecting to like be blown away.
Yeah.
You fuckers. They only put out 1 EP, and I guess they played like 1 live show, and it went over like really poorly.
Damn Dogs.
Yeah. It's on Spotify if you're interested.
Damn Dogs.
Damn
Wait,
Dogs.
the album's called
I don't
Doom
know.
Disco? No.
No. It's just that is
how they described
describe the genre of the. I don't remember the name. It's like of the EP, but yeah, it's called Damn Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So on March 26, 2012, a date that would go down in infamy, Jet announced their discontinuation as a group via their Facebook.
As they would say, come on.
Yeah. So, Pitchfork gave this album a 3.7 out of 10. And the review is pretty funny. It's written as a dialogue between a show promoter and the band. I will post the review. I won't read you the whole thing, but I'll read you a little part that's relevant to this song.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a dialogue between a show promoter and Jet. Jet, you guys are covered in shit. What's going on out there? They threw their shit at us. The show promoter. Wow, I've never seen that happen before. I'm sorry about this, but you guys are going to need to come up huge. Do you have anything you can do? Jet says, we have a couple songs that sound like the Stones. The show promoter. Perfect. Everybody loves the Stones. Just get out there and do them. Maybe throw in a song called Get What You Need, which theoretically would sport a pilfered Kinks guitar riff from All Day and All of the Night, and a bass line kidnapped from the Temptations' Get Ready. If there's one thing Americans love, it's a rock Motown. Just go give them some Stones, which they love, then a little honky-tonk piano, because that's awesome, then close with some rock Motown. Oh my God, Jet, this is terrible. Come here, stop playing. Listen, you guys are not going over at all. I can count all the people out there on one fist. You better nail out quick. Jet. Dude, I don't understand. We sound like everyone's favorite old rock bands. We have insipid lyrics. We say, come on, and oh yeah, every 5 seconds. We have no discernible identity. And we're from Australia. What could people possibly dislike about us? Show promoter. No idea, brah. Listen, why don't you do one more song? Like do a song about how DJs aren't actually musicians and you don't get how they pull tail. Jet. Oh, you mean Rollover DJ? That one that goes, you've been playing other people's songs all night? Show promoter. Yes, that's exactly the song I'm talking about. Insane.
Nice.
So,
wait, but for a fair representation, that was a bit of an outlier. If I remember right, this album at its time got medium to positive reviews from mainstream, I think.
Yeah, it like I said, it got huge.
Yeah, it was part of like a momentary zeitgeist, I think. Somehow it found a place.
And actually, prior to this album being released, the Rolling Stones asked Jet to open for them on a tour.
Wow.
So
there you go.
They did have credibility.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's an all right song, especially like if you don't actively listen to it. I honestly have no fucking clue what this song is about. It's just them saying get what you get and come on over and over again. Like if you try to like read into the lyrics, the two theories I have is A, it's about someone who's homophobic because their girlfriend left them for another girl. Which is kind of what the first verse gets at, because he talks about like a girl not picking up the phone because she's with another girl. But then the next song makes it seem like it's them trying to steal someone else's girlfriend.
I think if we are to place them in a tradition of music,
it's probably the latter.
Then I think you better get what you need is in like, let me put my penis in your vagina.
Come on!
Come on!
Oh yeah!
I
honestly just think the song is about yelling, "Come on and get what you need."
Yeah. See, like, okay, when this came out in 2003, and I was 13, which means I was like 1 year in to downloading music off LimeWire, or was I? ...
I was Maybe gonna say don't self-incriminate yourself.
Just kidding, I really wasn't.
You should do what Martin did, and upon advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer any questions.
Well, this is a parody podcast, so
got it.
That's how we're
That's
how we're running it. Parody.
Continue.
Okay, and I was finally listening to bands like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, The Kinks, AC/DC, Thin Lizzy, Rolling Stones, etc., and this came out, and it was like the only contemporary analog to that music. I couldn't think of another, and as a 13-year-old, I was like, wow, this is amazing. But then you got to think about that for a second. Think about that. In 2004, let's say, this sounded like the Kinks, You Really Got Me. Okay? And that means this music sounded like music that was 40 fucking years old. 40 years old. This sounded 40 years old. In 1964, when the Kinks came out with that, if they had made a song that sounded 40 years old, you'll have to post this. It would have sounded like 1924 Vernon Dalhart's The Prisoner's Song. That is a creepy country ballad that goes, oh, I wish I had someone to love me. Just to give you a sense of how perverted it is for a song to come out and sound just like something
that's 40 years old.
40 years old. That it's like it's just perverted. I don't know why that word comes to mind.
And then I should try to find something that's even 40 years older than that country. Such as some like Gregorian chanting from monks or something.
There's just something very fucked up about something sounding literally 40 years old. Like dead on, adding nothing to it. And whatever band they mentioned, they're really talking about AC/DC, Australian. They're the kings of the insipid lyric and just the guitar riff, you know.
Yeah, but at least AC/DC had like the decency to like put darkness and like possible devil like, you know, there was a Highway to Hell.
AC/DC.
Like, there was a darkness to them. These guys are so fucking PC.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a full show with AC/DC.
Yes.
It was full a showmanship, actual honest to God like guitar,
little schoolboy uniforms.
Yeah, they were whatever you think of them. I've seen them live. It was kind of terrifying shows. But whatever you think of them, they were like as genuine as you could maybe say a rock and roll band was. They were doing their own thing, influential. I can't even think of something else that sounds so much like something 4 decades old. It's creepy. It's creepy.
Yeah. I agree.
But I loved it when it came out.
Yeah.
Because I love that shit. Kinks.
And it's catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy.
It's catchy.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's pretty empty.
Yeah.
But like I said, like if you don't actively listen to it, it's a rockin' song.
Yeah.
But it's like blatantly just making money off of something someone else did.
I mean, again, not to like be an apologist for like 40-year-old rock and roll. Now 50. Now we're talking 50-year-old rock and roll. But like in the mid 60s.
Going on 60.
Yeah, that's insane. In the mid 60s, like when the Kinks did that, it did. If you can imagine, that sounded like subversive and like crazy. It sounded very different.
Now it's so safe.
And I can't believe I'm going to be an apologist for even lyrics like Led Zeppelin. And all their songs, save the ones that are about like Lord of the Rings, are about like just busting a nut. That's all they're about. But the only thing that can somewhat redeem them is that they belonged in a brief period of time. And I can't even believe I have to say this, but it's true. 1960s sexuality was being reconceived in the popular media, right? So to say something like, you're gonna get what you need, then would have a sort of historical significance of like, whoa, I can't believe someone's saying that. We're, sexual revolution. To say it in 2003,
it's floating in a sea of sex.
Yeah, it's just like,
that we're constantly swimming through.
Exactly. So there's something, it's like perverted nostalgia. I don't get it.
It's capitalism.
Yeah,
really. It's money.
Yeah, what was the kind of bands you mentioned like 2 shows ago that like aren't even really bands? They're just like corporate bands created.
Sugar Pop.
Yeah, this is almost like a new version of Sugar Pop. Like they were just like
Candy Pop or whatever it was.
Bubblegum
Pop.
Bubblegum Pop. This is almost like bubblegum rock. There's like someone.
The Illuminati is like, okay, guys, we need some money.
Yep.
Let's pump out some 40-year-old music.
Maybe this really was. 2003, 2004, we're invading Iraq. So what do you gotta do? Distract the masses with some old sexuality.
And jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Oh shit, dude.
Jet fuel.
Vaporwave, the trails in the
vapor
sky.
Chemtrails.
Oh, dude. I get you, Jet.
Hitler's in there somewhere.
You
always got to tie in Nazis and aliens.
You play it backwards, it's just 666.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I thought that was just rock and roll, but now...
You're gonna 66 what you need.
Yeah.
Come on, 666. Come on in here, Satan.
Oh, man.
You got any other thoughts on...
No, there's something, parasitic about the song. I don't know. not to be. I'm on a mean streak, but this song creeps me out.
Okay, we're 2 for 2. Dominic
for
is
2.
hard. Hard on these. Just shooting them
down, dude.
Okay, let's see if we can do it again, because I know this next song, Dominic enjoys this artist very much.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Next song, Asshole by Beck, off of his 1994 album, One Foot in the Grave. Beck, American singer, songwriter, producer, multi-instrumentalist from Los Angeles, California. Known for his sonically experimental style and for creating musical collages combining folk, funk, soul, hip-hop, alt-rock, country, and psychedelia. He has also been associated with the anti-folk movement, which seeks to subvert the earnestness of politically charged 1960s folk music. The music tends to sound raw and experimental, and generally mocks perceived seriousness and pretension in the established mainstream musical scene. Artists of anti-folk genre tend to observe the rules of music, but deliberately break them. Now, this is much more relevant to Beck's earlier sounding music, which this song falls into.
Yep.
So, some interesting facts about Beck. I didn't know this. Do you know anything about his parents?
Yeah.
So, his father, David Campbell, is an arranger, composer, and conductor who's worked on over 450 gold and platinum albums with artists such as Adele, Justin Timberlake, Muse, Michael Jackson, Leia, Evanescence, Linkin Park, Beyonce, Miley Cyrus, Dream Theater, and, of course, his son. And his mother, Bibi Hansen, I think, Bibbe, Bibi? Bibi Hansen is a performance artist, musician, actress, and former Warhol superstar. Now, for anyone who's not familiar, the Warhol Superstars were a clique of New York City personalities promoted by the pop artist Andy Warhol during the 1960s and early 1970s. These personalities appeared in Warhol's artworks and accompanied him in his social life, epitomizing his famous dictum, "In the future, everyone will be famous for 15 minutes." Warhol would simply film them and then declare them famous. And she was one of them. Then she fell out of it, moved to LA, got with David Campbell.
Scientology.
And Beck was born.
Yeah. And Scientology.
Yeah,
It's in the mix.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So, I didn't know this either. Do you know that Beck's actual legal birth name is just B-E-K?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And he added the C
That's
himself.
odd. I have no idea why. Yeah, I know nothing about
and
that.
he was born under his father's last name, though today he goes by his mother's last name. Beck Hansen. Not Beck Campbell. Oh yeah, they're Scientologists. Now, before, way in the early days of Shuffle, we spoke about Beck's Scientology, and we speculated that maybe it was something he was kind of raised around but doesn't really practice anymore these days. I found out that is not the case. He is a Scientologist straight up.
From beginning to end, or as of now?
As of now.
That's what
that's
what I thought.
Here is he famously doesn't speak of it that much, but in an interview he did where he did speak of it, he said, and I quote, "Yeah, I'm a Scientologist. My father has been a Scientologist for about 35 years, so I grew up in and around it. What it actually is just sort of, I think it's about philosophy and sort of all these kinds of, ideals that are common to a lot of religions. There's nothing fantastical. Just a real deep grassroots concerted effort for humanitarian causes. I don't know if you know the stuff they have. It's unbelievable the stuff they're doing. Education. They have free centers all over the place for poor kids. They have the #1 drug rehabilitation program in the entire world. It has a 90-something% success rate, which
I'm not sure.
This is not part of the quote anymore, but when I got to this part of reading this, in big red letters across my eyes, I just kept seeing the word brainwash over and over.
Yeah.
That's me though. I'm not.
When did he say though that quote?
I think this was like in 2011.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because as far as I know, like during this early period, Odelay period, and even like Midnight Vultures, as far as I know, publicly, he almost never spoke about when he did. He just said like, it was just something I grew up around. I don't know much about it, but it was just sort of there. But lately, he's said more.
He's been talking more about it.
Yeah, no doubt.
The quote goes on to say, when you look at the actual facts and not what's just conjured in people's mind, it's all bullshit to me, because I've actually seen this stuff firsthand. And it should be noted, he's also a self-identified Jew. So he considers himself both Jewish and Scientologist at the same time.
Huh.
So I
Hybrid.
I shouldn't speculate. It is what it is.
Someone's got it. Someone either has or they should do like some kind of study about like the demographics who became Scientologists. Because first, not to get too off track here, but there's been so many new religious movements from like 1940, especially post World War II to like today. Tons and tons and tons of like, you could say cults, small religions, etc. Scientology especially, you could say preyed upon or found its niche in like the petite bourgeois of Hollywood,
It's like an elitist thing.
Yeah, it's like people that want to be famous, and they're like, will kind of help them, and most of them don't get that famous, but some do, like Tom Cruise and etc.
John Travolta.
But it's a lot of people
Will
that
Smith.
like wanted to be, that aspired. I feel like he was kind of hopelessly sucked into that.
Yeah.
Because his parents got famous.
Yeah, because I don't feel like he's someone that actively seeks fame.
Yeah.
I think he just happens to be a creative genius,
Yeah.
and he just so happened to grow up in Scientology.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like scheming.
Yeah. Same.
So, another interesting fact: he fought Bjork in MTV's Celebrity Deathmatch. If you remember that show
Yeah.
of claymated celebrities fighting each other.
Yeah.
They had a battle of the best monosyllabic musician of all time, which ends with both of them being killed by Bach, who appears via a time machine and slays both of them. I'll post the video of it. It's pretty entertaining.
That's it.
So the year that this album came out, One Foot in the Grave, which was 1994, he also released two other albums that year, Mellow Gold and Stereopathic Soul Manure. And this is also the same year that Loser came out and charted as number 10 on Billboard 100 or whatever.
Yep.
And to like bring it all into view, he was 24 years old.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap.
Yeah. Because I think like this was recorded. A lot of the music on this album was recorded before Mellow Gold. But I think maybe you did more research on this. But Mellow Gold,
yeah,
that came out first, and that was like a kind of, if I remember right, kind of critical underground darling, like critically acclaimed, kind of more popular than he thought it would be, and then he rushed out this album and another one of songs that were kind of, I think, a little more raw. He probably would have never
Lo-fi.
really, to kind of, and if, again, not to get too much in his biography, but I think that was like a kind of almost a business move to help him be able to make Odelay. That's a little bit what I've always understood.
There's like a lot of people that speculate that.
Yeah.
Like, this was a huge effort to make Odelay.
Yeah, because Mellow Gold is fucking brilliant. The two stuff he threw out, those are just kind of like, to me, they were just kind of like raw B-sides that he's like, all right, I can make music, trust me, here's like, a little more money.
Hardcore hipsters like the Needle Drop, the YouTube music reviewer, will claim that this album is his favorite Beck album. You know,
I don't even consider it. I always go Mellow Gold, Odelay, 1, 2.
You skip the 2 in
I don't
between.
even I consider these just like basement tapes.
Fucking
Dylan
around
style.
in the studio.
What? Shit.
Yeah. And
wait, the Needle Drop guy says this is his favorite Beck
he
album?
said it's possibly his favorite album.
Oh god, that hurts. That's too much hipster for me.
For someone associated with the do-it-yourself lo-fi scene, this album is considered his most do-it-yourself lo-fi of all of his albums.
Yeah.
One Foot in the Grave features the production talents and songwriting talents and occasional backing vocals of K Records founder Kelvin Johnson, who also popped up on this podcast on an episode that Dominic wasn't in for his early work with Modest Mouse and Built to Spill in kind of like the Olympia, Washington, or Olympia, Oregon. Wherever Olympia is, that music scene, he kind of...
Northeast.
K Records was a famous lo-fi, do-it-yourself indie records place from the Pacific Northwest, and he kind of is known for kind of help bringing Modest Mouse and Built to Spill to the public side.
Nice.
So he worked close with Beck on this record. Another interesting fact, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers covered this song, Asshole, for the soundtrack for the movie, the 1996 movie She's the One.
Wow. 90s were a weird decade, man.
And I listened to it. I'll post it, and it sounds exactly like Beck's version, except it's Tom Petty singing instead of Beck. And it's pretty like they sound kind of similar.
Yeah,
I really had to listen and be like, oh, this isn't Beck. This is Tom Petty.
Yeah.
So what did you think of this track?
To be honest, I don't think it's a particularly good song. I would never say this is like a must-listen-to Beck track. The only kind of listenability to it, if that's a word, I would say is only because of like kind of its historical significance. It could, it's a sort of that Mellow Gold, that album is fucking masterpiece, and it is like the slacker folk, psychedelic, experimental, anti-folk for sure. I mean, he never, as far as I know, embraced the idea of slacker. What was it, slacker pop or slacker rock?
He got labeled as like the slacker wave or slacker pop or slacker rock.
But I mean, his especially those early, that Mellow Gold, like he just sounds like sedated, kind of observational,
sounds high as fuck, man.
And like, given the genre he's working in, that's typically very earnest folk, very earnest, and he's sounding kind of sedate, just observational. He sounds
almost some of the like, especially like in Loser.
Yeah.
It's or like I don't know, like stream of conscious lyrics almost.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Getting funky with the cheese with like he's just like saying things almost.
Yeah.
It feels like.
So yeah, I mean, I gotta say this song is like part of that. And again, I'm a humongous Beck fan, so I'm biased. But the reason I've always liked him is because he always has some critical distance from the genre that he's participating in. Or you always get the sense that he understands very well the genre that he's in, and he just somehow implants himself into it without assimilating into it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And this song is not the best example of that, to be honest. It's just like 2 minutes long.
It's very short.
It's very short. The lyrics there's not that many lyrics. They have interesting imagery, borderline nonsense, kind of
cigarettes
surreal.
Smoking themselves.
Yeah, but again, I could list 100 Beck songs that would demonstrate his lyrical ability with music better. So to me, it just sounds like a track that he would have made in like a 6-month period while trying to make something like Mellow Gold. He looks at all the songs and goes, this one, not going to make the cut. And that was a very prudent decision. And to me, that's it. You know what I mean? So this is a song it's not particularly good. I got to be honest. I love Beck.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
It's very straightforward. It's just about some girl who is kind of vindictive. Yeah.
I mean, I could try to read a lot into it,
There's not that much there to read though. There's no substance.
Yeah.
I don't know. It, like you said, it's interesting. I feel like unless you're a diehard Beck fan, you probably wouldn't be caught even listening to this. Let alone would you know about its existence. Like you said, it sounds like some like B-sides rarity collection song. Yeah, it does. Like, oh, Beck was just messing around on the guitar in the studio one day, and we accidentally were recording, and
I mean, it's just it's just crappy acoustic guitar. I mean, again, like it's interesting how like you can hear the strings slapping on the wood almost as much as you can hear the pitches coming out of the strings. I mean, it's just like shitty, like, which again gives you the sense of that aesthetic. But this is not the best realization of that aesthetic.
Maybe the song is about you, and you're making him feel like an asshole right now.
I know, but it's the asshole he knew he was. Yeah. Whoa. But again, this is the kind of song that you would be playing in your car, and 9 out of 10 people who would then come into your car would say, "What the fuck? Turn this off. This sounds terrible."
Wait, how often are you just sitting in your car and there's people coming in and out of
Yeah,
it?
I did this for 2 weeks in preparation.
I did a study.
Experiment. But it's just, this is just, it doesn't sound like particularly great music.
Yeah.
Dull. It's not the best. Whoever says this is one of their favorite Beck songs, that's
Albums.
very sad.
He wasn't specifically
Okay.
talking about this song, but he
The
said
album.
One Foot in the Grave, which I guess is like, I didn't realize this, but it's like allegedly a semi-concept album about the apocalypse
Could
or
be.
something.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
do-it-yourself bluegrass. I don't know. Like it almost sounded like he was trying to, like, just because of the time this came out, trying to emulate like Neutral Milk Hotel almost, like,
Could
especially
be.
with that like line, like cigarette smoking themselves.
Yeah, that could be. That could be.
But
He's got a lot of lines about cigarettes, like throughout all his discography.
yeah, that too. Like I said,
don't know
I doubt he was trying to. He was inspired by, or he wasn't even thinking about Neutral Milk Hotel.
But,
I just
yeah.
that's a connection I made.
Yeah, no doubt.
And actually, Neutral Milk Hotel didn't get really big till the later '90s, so that doesn't even make sense.
But I mean, yeah, it's Neutral Milk Hotel would be a better example of maybe lyrics fitting in. What I don't know if Neutral Milk Hotel's ever been described as anti-folk. I don't think he fits perfectly into that genre. But yeah,
he follows the rules too much.
Yeah, maybe he follows the rules too much. But yeah, in terms of like stream of conscious imagery with guitar in the '90s, this song is not the best example. So yeah, it's again, I love Beck.
Okay.
Listen to fucking Mellow Gold. It's such a good album.
We are 3 for 3
This bad song.
on Dominic's no list.
I'm
So,
shooting him down, man.
Let's see what happens with the next one. Next song, Post Physical by Pictureplane off the 2011 album The Physical. Pictureplane, whose real name is Travis Egedy, Egedy.
Mhm.
I'm going to say Edgy, it's probably Egedy. He's an American electronic musician currently based in Brooklyn, New York, although he originally hails from Rhinoceropolis, which is in Denver, Colorado. I just just take a seat and get ready for this. So, Rhinoceropolis is a giant warehouse on the outskirts of Denver, Colorado, and it's used as an art studio, a concert venue, an art gallery, and it's also like a place where artists live, and he lived there.
Wow.
And overall, it's just like this huge DIY anarchist counterculture collective hangout space.
Real badass, real edgy.
So at the time, Travis, I believe he went to like the University of Colorado or something. He went to some school for visual arts, graduated, and ended up living at this place as a visual artist, residing there. And he kind of, as he describes, accidentally kind of became the house DJ for that place. So like, if anyone was just hanging out, he'd start playing music. He kind of started help like schedule the concerts to be played there. If there was ever any gaps in shows, he would play his own music. So he kind of accidentally started making music.
Yeah.
There's actually a pretty great documentary on YouTube about Rhinoceropolis. I'll post it if anyone's curious. So that's where his roots come from. He's associated with, I guess, the dark wave genre.
Okay.
Dark wave genre that began in the 1970s, coinciding with the popularity of new wave and post-punk. And it built off those basic principles, but dark wave added kind of dark, introspective lyrics and undertones of sorrow, and it closely associated kind of with the goth movement.
Mm-hmm.
Though Pictureplane has referred to his music as goth tech, blood techno, goth EDM, no wave, as in KNOW wave, alien body, next stage, future garage.
Alien body. Alien body?
Alien body is a genre that he's used. It's also
I love that.
He loves alien body. He has like a whole fashion line which is called Alien Body. He makes
Wow.
tons and tons of t-shirts and clothing.
Wow.
And it's called Alien Body.
Wow.
Next stage, Future Garage, Suicide Pop, Black Acid, and of course, Witch House.
Yeah.
Now-
Which he coined, maybe?
Correct.
Okay.
It is,
Wow.
well, it is highly speculated that he coined the term Witch House. I'm impressed you knew that.
Wikipedia.
So he's been credited with coining the term Witch House. He stated, "It's a joke. Myself and my friend Shams were joking about the sort of house music we make, calling it Witch House because it's like occult-based house music. I did this best of the year-end thing with Pitchfork about Witch House, and I was saying that Witch House bands were going to be huge in 2010, and 2010 is going to be the year of Witch House, and it took off from there. But at the time that I said Witch House, it didn't really exist, and since then, even if it started off as a joke, it's
Willed it into being.
it has
man.
been decontextualized and is now a genre that describes slow-down goth lo-fi that's kind of like shoegazy take on
Yeah.
R&B music.
A famous artist now associated or at one time associated with
Witch House, Ooh, which is a bunch of O's, Bala Macabre, Calm's Casino, Holy Other, Evian Christ. There's a great
Early Grimes?
yes,
kind of?
early Grimes,
Okay,
definitely
early
early
Grimes,
Grimes.
alright.
Her first 2 albums for sure.
Okay, I thought you had said that once.
Yes,
All right.
her first 2 albums for sure.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Though Pitchfork's Larry Fitzmarcy has described especially this album, The Physical, as a ear-bleeding take on 1990s diva house electro. So on his website, he has his own manifesto, which is dubbed he loves the, T-H-E-E, the Technomancer Manifesto.
Technomancer.
It's very long. There's a video of him reciting it, which I'll post, as well as like this proclamation poster. But I'll read you my favorite excerpt from it. And this statement right here should embody everything you need to know about this guy. We are the hyper-style street trash, committing acts of shamanic vandalism, vicious terrorist poets, divine violence, and riot porn arousal. Naked subversion of your death condition. The civilized death trip. Can you trip like we do? Your hardware is soft. Memory simulation. A collective mythology hardwired into our genetic makeup. The youth is megalithic, and the moonlight is sculpture. Energy, consciousness, uploaded mind, living forever in a forest cathedral. Anarchy and ecstasy, both starting inverting symbolic truths of a world on fire. Radical chaos, chaos radical, the galactic serpent. Apocalyptic vision, dwelling on the threshold, reduced to the status of ghosts. We fuck on the ashes of Ferraris. A pure heart is a threat. You hide behind sick machines, pure, harsh, real acceleration.
Oh my God.
Maniac cops, smoke screens and touch screens. The Walking Dead. A war on consciousness from the reptile dysfunction. The postmodern condition turning gold to shit.
We are nihilists, Lebowski.
And
we believe in nothing. That's the only thing I can fucking think.
And I will say I probably read about a fourth of this thing,
My
and he
God.
memorized this whole thing. He
Wow.
recites it.
Wow, really did.
So that is the perfect embodiment of this guy. So this album, The Physical, was actually co-produced by Jupiter Keys, who is the guitarist and keyboardist of one of my favorite bands of all time, Health.
No, oh wow, really?
And actually, that's how I learned about this guy. So going back to that potential ICP related thing,
Oh shit.
I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast or not. There was a infamous concert I saw at the 7th Street Entry, which is a small venue off to the side of 1st Avenue in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
I saw Health, Pictureplane, a guy named Juicebox, who is a white rapper from Milwaukee, who probably put on the most punk rock show I've ever seen in my life.
Nice.
So I saw those 3 bands together. That's how I found out about Pictureplane. And while I was seeing them in the 7th Street, next door at First Avenue, Insane Clown Posse was playing. Did I talk about this?
Yeah, you mentioned it maybe first.
The sidewalks were literally sticky with Faygo.
Oh,
there were juggalos outside of the venue just dumping Faygo on themselves. Like, we walked out of the concert and our shoes were sticking to the sidewalk.
God damn it.
And like
gross.
there was this intense vibe that you couldn't quite put your finger on, but everyone could feel it. And like Pictureplane actually became like obsessed with ICP after that show. Like, he was tweeting about it for days and
not like being mean about it.
No,
just
no,
like
it was
interested.
just like
Wow.
intrigued and infatuated with this otherness of them. And I'll post a picture. There's a pretty great. He committed pretty hardcore a picture of Pictureplane dressed up as a juggalo.
Oh god.
With like makeup and ICP jersey and like a butcher's knife in his hand or a hatchet in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, I saw Pictureplane live. That's how I found out about him. There's a music video for this song. I don't know if you watched it or not.
Yeah.
It kind of is this. It looks like an early's glitchy VHS tape, and it is a juxtaposition of a video of like a couple who slowly get covered in fabric, and they're like making love, and then they like disappear and they shed their skins, and this is all juxtaposed with shots of Pictureplane singing while at an amusement park.
Yeah.
So this song lyrically seems to be questioning how we know people are real. How do we know that other people exist? Where does one person begin and another end? I guess it's kind of slightly metaphysical.
No, it's post-physical.
So, what did you think of post-physical?
I think that it is a very bad song. Again, I hate to just shoot them all down, but
4 for 4.
But I resist strongly what I consider to be pitchfork propaganda that went on from 2000 to 2008 maybe. You correct me if I'm wrong here. That just seemed to privilege lo-fi do-it-yourself music. Do you think that's kind of fair?
Well,
no, you don't have to say it's propaganda.
I think that saying it ended, look at the score they gave The Life of Pablo.
Yeah, okay. To me there's something very upper class white privileged as fuck sensibility when you say we're gonna be shitty by choice. This is like the oldest form of cultural appropriation. It's like we are so well-to-do that now we can be shitty by choice. And to me it's all just kind of like wink music. Like they're winking, like
Winkcore.
I'm putting it on. It's wink. It's all Winkcore. There, you just said it. It's all Winkcore
Wink
music.
wave.
Yeah, it's like look at me. I'm playing low production. Did it myself. Shitty. It doesn't sound good. Get it? Wink, wink, wink. And I resist that. I think that. I mean, fuck you. I think that's so. I hate that shit. Like no one originally would ever play lo-fi by choice. Right? You don't want to. If you could play anything, you would pick the best production to suit whatever sound you're going for. And to just do low production lo-fi by choice in and of itself to praise do-it-yourself. I just have a sort of axe to grind with that. So maybe that made me a little too harsh on this. But I didn't like it.
I can respect that.
This to me was embodied that what this is ugh.
I think it's
maybe I'm being mean.
I think it's very pretentious.
Yeah, it is.
Especially the lyrics, but I'm a sucker for fringe electronic music.
Yeah.
I dig this song. I completely understand your perspective, and I also completely if I think too much about what he's saying, it's just fuck you, man.
We are all pure. We are all post-physical.
But from a purely sonic level, I enjoy listening to it. Though I feel like if you're gonna sing something that is so deep and thought-provoking,
Yeah.
don't sing the same 5 lines over and over again.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the same.
It's so repetitive. It's the exact same like little set of same lines, just repeated 6 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, the meanest thing I can say about it is it sounds like if just gross white trash people, hillbillies, took Molly. This is like the soundtrack that would go through their head. Hillbillies making out on Molly. This is the soundtrack.
You think a hillbilly would say post-physical?
If they were on Molly, to me, it has this like just like this vibe to it. That's why
his music is like highly sexual. He's
it's like
very adamant about that.
Yeah, it's just like there's just the vocals aren't good traditionally.
No, he's not a great singer, and his voice is very empty and weak.
And yeah, it's just kind of like drum, timpani, lo-fi synth, brooding bass rhythm. Not a very good voice. Very annoying lyrics.
Witch House.
I mean, this is me being mean and nasty, but like Tim and Eric. It sounded like a Tim and Eric song, maybe, or like a Bruno, Sacha Baron Cohen's character Bruno. This is
he's being serious.
But this guy's being serious. It has that kind of like Eastern European house dance vibe that's very watered down.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about this song that just really rubbed me the wrong way.
Wow. 4 for 4.
Am I being too mean? Do you think I'm being unfair with it? Am I overreading this song as representative of something I already hated? Maybe I am a little bit.
I guess, well, no, like, if you heard it, I think it's completely fair. I've never associated Pictureplane with, like, the lo-fi movement or sound.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'll re-listen to it and it's going to be ruined for me now.
Yeah.
I always thought it was, like, independent, do-it-yourself kind of electronic music that is not Deadmau 5 overproduced dubstep stuff.
Yeah, see, so maybe it was a necessary movement. Maybe, yeah. Because I never really listened to electronic music in general. So maybe to not understand the excessive, overproduced music, I can't appreciate this music. But then it raises the question, like, what's the point of music? Not to get too philosophical. What's the point of music?
And what's the point in having a podcast about
what's the
music?
point of having? What's the point of life, Mom? I don't know.
No, I don't think you're being. I asked you for your earnest thoughts on this.
It seems like Winkcore.
Winkcore.
It's Winkcore.
I do like that. Winkcore.
It's Wink. Yeah, you coined it. That's perfect. It's Winkcore. It's like, get it, because you can't. Imagine like a friend of yours who is like in a time, like totally gone for like the last 10 years. Isolation tank came and listened to this, and his first reaction would probably be like, this is really weird, kind of shitty. And then you'd have to, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you'd have to explain, look, this is part of this movement, and there's this whole thing against this and against that. And only then can he fully get it. And to me, that's Winkcore. Like, get it? Get it?
Yeah. Though, I guess the one thing I would have to say about them is, like, at least with, like, Pictureplane and, like, the crowds that he runs with, I feel like if you had someone like Kanye, who's like he doesn't, they're playing for their friends. Like, he's playing for his audience. He's not like trying to be something he's not. And, you know, if Pitchfork wants to like perpetuate something, that's true. Shame on them. Yeah. It's like I just think about like them all hanging out in this warehouse and probably doing drugs and playing music that they love. And like they're completely content just doing that. Yeah. And it's everybody else. It's like music commentary, music journalism that's like bring it on, be like, look at how brilliant this is. And then I understand your reaction, be like, fuck you, this is horseshit. No, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Part of it is, I think, part of my critique is just like everything built around this type of music, not necessarily the music itself. So, I guess let's see if we're 5 for 5. Let's move on to the last song. Last song is Hans Zimmer. Yeah. Before You Die, You See the Ring by Hans Zimmer. I incorrectly said it was by 4 people last time. I realized that there were a collective that did the soundtrack for The Ring. This song specifically was just by Hans.
Okay.
So it's simply him. This is off of the 2005 The Ring / The Ring 2 original motion picture soundtrack. Hans Zimmer is a German composer and record producer from Frankfurt. Since the 1980s, he has composed music for over 150 films, including The Lion King, which he won the Academy Award for Best Original Score.
Can you feel
The Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's him singing.
Yeah, that's him. I think he also wrote Rocket Man.
Yeah.
And he did the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, The Thin Red Line, Gladiator, The Last Samurai, The Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, Interstellar. He's in with Christopher Nolan, I guess. He's head of the film music division at DreamWorks Studios. He's, as well as winning his Oscars, won 4 Grammys, 3 Classical Brit Awards, and 2 Golden Globes.
Damn.
And the Daily Telegraph has named him number 72 on their list of top 100 living geniuses.
Wow.
So The Ring,
Wow.
in case you're not familiar, is a 2002 American supernatural psychological horror film directed by Gore Verbinski, starring Naomi Watts. And it is a remake of the 1998 Japanese horror film Ringu, which is based off of a novel called Ring by Koji Suzuki. The film grossed over $249 million on a $48 million production budget, making it one of the highest grossing horror films of all time. And I just found out they're actually making a 3rd one. It's coming out this October, and it's called Rings.
Damn.
And interesting fact I found out about this. I had no idea. While they were marketing and promoting this film before it came out, so the summer leading up to the movie's release, during late night TV programming, they would play the cursed videotape from the movie just in the middle of programming with
Really?
no mention of The Ring. Like, no, didn't say like The Ring coming to movie. They would just play the tape and cut back to normal. I'm like, holy
Wow.
shit. That is a great.
That's amazing.
Like, I'm sure everyone just took to the internet looking stuff up.
They're like, what the fuck just happened to my
creepy as fuck too.
Wow, that's genius. That's clever.
To this day, The Ring is probably the scariest movie I've ever seen. Like went back in middle school when I saw it. That movie fucked me up hardcore.
Yeah.
And
I didn't see it till later in life, but it's creepy as hell.
So what did you think of this song?
I thought it was okay. It's hard to listen to a soundtrack without the visuals, because I mean, you gotta agree. The sound, it is scored to accompany visuals.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, so you're missing something, you know. So, but to me, I could kind of. It was a chance to kind of reflect on Hans Zimmer a little bit, and it seemed like this song had 3 themes that were recurring throughout it.
Yeah, it kind of almost felt like an overture.
Yeah.
Like when you go to a play and before it starts, they kind of play like all of this, like a little medley of all the songs.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like that.
Yeah.
So what are the 3
I
themes?
thought there was the kind of like the tense thrill theme, like like creepy drone scratching violin thing, and then there's the kind of innocent theme with the piano, the kind of humanity, sentimental, childlike.
Yeah.
And then
Like children's
and then there's
piano.
like the inquisitive. There's something that sounds very inquisitive, like on the precipice of a great reveal. There's something that sounds like,
Yeah.
and to me those 3 themes are all very Hans Zimmer, like the dun 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 dun,
Which is
from Inception.
Inception and The Dark Knight.
Yeah, like you're about something big.
Something big's gonna
is
happen.
about to happen. Which I thought, yeah, it is kind of. Those,
No, but I agree. There was like I even wrote this down. There was like kind of like a sense of awe and wonder.
yeah, curiosity,
Yeah.
wonder,
Which
yeah,
is- All 3 of those emotions you listed or movements are like central to the story of
Yep.
The Ring. So
yeah,
it shows you that Hans knows what he's doing.
yeah,
It's a very
yeah.
cinematic and visual song.
Yeah.
It invoked like fear, curiosity, and eeriness.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a movie about a woman a journalist trying to discover what happened, and horrifying things are happening to her, and it's about a creepy little girl.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So, like, for me, someone who's terrified by this movie as a younger person, I mean, I thought this song was great, but it's also like 7 minutes of post-traumatic stress syndrome for me. Like, sitting alone listening to this, I kept like nervously glancing at my television.
Yeah, I
half expecting it to turn on with static.
Yeah, and I would never. I mean, honestly, I don't think there's many Hans Zimmer songs I would ever listen to just on their own. I think there's some, no doubt, but most of them, they're just, they were scored to accompany visuals.
And that's exactly, for what it is, it's great.
Yeah, for what it is, there is something a little interesting about, like he clearly knows how to, just craft quick, pithy, right to the point emotion in sound. Like, thrilling, curious, awe, innocence.
Yeah.
Again, and then to me, it just kind of ebb and flowed between them.
So, you kind of liked it.
So I kind of liked it. I'll be honest.
4.5 for 5.
I gotta be honest. I would probably never listen to these songs.
Any of them. So if you had to pick a favorite, would it be the Ring one?
Do I have to pick a? Yeah,
we always have to pick a favorite.
So yeah, it would be.
What was your most enjoyable listen of the 5? I feel like that or like the Flogging Molly song.
I mean, honestly,
Or Jet?
That Jet song was the shortest.
God damn.
No.
Okay.
No. Hans Zimmer. I mean, there was the most to chew on. Yeah, there was the most to chew on. Although, yeah, kind of a weak selection of Zimmer.
I'd probably have to go with the Flogging Molly song just because, like, I have like a soft spot in my heart for them.
That's
it makes
fair,
me think of high school and seeing them in concert, and
I would say they're my second. It would go Hans Zimmer, Flogging Molly, Beck,
Pictureplane.
I got Pictureplane, and then Jet.
Yeah. Okay.
You're about to kill me. You're like, are you gonna fucking pick Jet over Pictureplane?
I respect your.
No, I can't go. Go that far. Jet. That's like a sin. It's like a sinful music. Pictureplane.
There's sacred music.
Pictureplane is just Winkcore.
Winkcore.
Yeah. You coined that. You gotta make a Wikipedia.
I will. I'll make an entry for it. You gotta help me.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps things up.
All right.
Please continue to send us submissions of tracks, genres, and whatever that you'd like us to talk about. You can send it to any of our social network things. Also, please check out the Game Cave podcast, which I'm on, that my friend John hosts, if you want to hear me talk about video games. Other than that, here are the playlists for here's the playlist for episode 15. Now What by Jerry Martin, Blind Spot by C418, The $6 Million Sandwich by The Dead Texan, Not in Love by Crystal Castles featuring Robert Smith of The Cure, and the last song is Crestfallen by Plus/Minus. So go ahead and listen to those. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good week, and thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.